Thanks for joining. Let's jump right in. Where are you right now, Jorma?
I'm in Vienna, Austria. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. What are you working on right now?
I am working on a wonderful, difficult piece I made a few years ago to some amazing dancers, and I'm reviving it. There was some amazing principal dancers. One that comes to my mind was called Christine, and the other one was called Tara, and then there was Matt. Who else was there?
James, who actually works in development here. James I, Francis Fayette, Jermel Johnson, Amy Aldridge. Yeah, great dancers. I mean, this was way back when you said yes, and we were just, a little seed of an idea.
Yeah. But it was the second time we worked together.
It was.
Yeah.
The first time was in, I believe, 2008 when Nick Stuccio brought you to the Philadelphia Fringe Festival. And that was your first time creating in the United States. Is that correct?
That is correct. Nick, how is Nick? I miss Nick.
He's great. Yeah. He's great. Yeah, he's amazing.
You have to fix that we play tennis with Nick.
Absolutely.
This is your responsibility, Christine.
I will be in charge of that. You and Nick have got to get some games on the schedule there.
So I'm very thankful for Nick to getting us together, and now we're here 20 plus years later working together, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. And I was just up in Boston, and I went to Boston Ballet and saw,
How are they in Boston?
Yeah, the company had a great performance up there, and I wanted to check out what was happening at Boston Ballet. And I know you're the resident choreographer there, and you've been resident for what, like 22 years, is that correct?
It's a little under 20 years, but soon 20 years.
Yeah. What do you find that is an advantage to being a resident choreographer?
Well, it just comes first to my mind. I work with some of those dancers that are there. We made 10 plus creations together in those 20 years me being there. So not only that creatively it's different than me going around in different companies and meeting new people, which is exciting, but it's a different relationship to dancers and artists, and then you just live your life together with these people. It's quite unique to see them grow from. Some of them were in the junior company, and then they're now in the main company, and they, evolve as not only as artists but as human beings. And I live my life, and you kind of share the life in studio with these wonderful people. So it's great.
Mm-hmm. And so your ballet Scenes View 2 was inspired by that you created on BalletX almost a long time ago, 2000.
Yeah.
I believe that was 2007. I got to double check. Yeah. Personally, for me, dancing it was really one of the I think it was the last creation I had worked on or close to. And, I had a long career in dancing. Your movement was it was so freeing. I just love I love doing ballet and adding, elements of just different movement into what we were doing. You really kind of saw who we were as dancers and then brought your own style into what we were, what we were working towards. But it was inspired by the play Carmen, is that correct?
Yeah, it was, and I had just made Carmen at Boston Ballet, and I think that the main or the critics that I got from it was that it was not successful, and so it was a frustrating moment for me because it was one of the first story ballets I made. And I didn't really understand so much. I was in a sort of tumult in my head, like you try your best and people just trash it, and that's part of the work of a choreographer, but sometimes it hits and so then I was like, okay, let's use this as a little bit of a source for that kind of feeling, the nervousness or anxiety that creates energy still. You want to show like, okay, you hated that, but I'm gonna show you that I can do it. And then you guys, you were really into, we were working a lot of the text, sort of inspired by that experience of making the Carmen and then the movement. So that's what was. It's interesting that next season Carmen is coming back at Boston Ballet. So I thought it will never come back because people hated it so much. But there you go. It's been coming back so many times. So it's interesting the arc of any artist that you often feel like things are a failure. You just don't know how things evolve and how the world evolves.
Yeah,
so
that's such a good point. And I don't know if there's any choreographers on here, but just hearing that, like, you created a full length, your first full length, Carmen, at Boston Ballet, and you're saying that there was critical feedback that wasn't comfortable, and then you came and you made a version inspired by, you kind of went back in and looked at the text, and for our work you kind of probably felt like you were stripping it down and just getting like a new foundation or just a new perspective on the work to now, not that what you did with us will inform the reiteration of the Carmen that you did for Boston Ballet, but it's just important for artists to know, like, it's challenging. You're really vulnerable. Criticism it can hurt.
yeah,
Especially if it's not constructive criticism, and yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Yeah.
And that, especially when you're starting choreographer, that state of positive or negative criticism, it can create actually tension. You want to do something, so it can be a source of something that you want to build on, and then you have dancers, fabulous dancers like you, Christine, and your fabulous colleagues that are like, okay, let's do that. You were open to my crazy moment in that state and went with it. So thank you for that. You need the people. If people are like, what is this guy coming in here and talking about Carmen and but we're not performing,
Yeah.
They start to doubt you, but you didn't. You were really willing to give another perspective on that energy and those thoughts I had to share with you in the studio. So
oh my gosh, I didn't know any of that, Jorma. I'm like, that's really so touching, because just touching from an artist's journey, right? You see your name, we know who you are, we see your body of work, but like to present that real life vulnerability in a time when people, someone may stop choreographing because they get that kind of feedback from a critic who maybe never choreographed a day in their life, has no understanding what happens when you strip yourself naked and make something from your soul that you share with the world, right? It's but that you came, I mean, we really at BalletX want, and we do, I hope, for all the choreographers, have a process of vulnerability, of openness to choreographers' ideas of like, let's experiment here. Let's not bring our judgment to the process. Let's stay open so that the choreographer can build the vision. Let's not judge before we've even, made a step here, which can happen in the studio. We can be ultra critical sometimes and
so
not know it.
Great if you're running obviously the company. I worked with your dancers then when you were not dancing yourself. They shared the same thought that you're now saying, and what you had as a dancer when I arrived there the first couple of times. So that's great. You want to continue on that approach of a dancers, and that's of course different than other companies, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we make I mean, we create between 6 and 9 new works a year.
Oh, that's great.
It's a lot, and
Yeah.
it's challenging for everybody, right? The production, the dancers, you know, all sorts of. It's challenging, but in the best way, because we're all growing and really evolving as makers and as producers and what. What do you think it's going to feel like to come back and work on Scenes View 2? Have you watched the video? I watched myself in the video, and I can remember dancing it and how much I loved it. But choreography has changed so much. I'm sure you've evolved and changed. What's your thoughts on the work, and how do you feel looking at it? What are you thinking when you come back before we premiere it in March 1st again after over a decade?
Well, it's really interesting because it's a while back we worked on that, Christine.
Oh.
Do you remember the steps still?
I do some of them. I really do. Like, I remember, but I loved it, what we were playing with, and our brains, we were like pulling things out of our head. And well, I really remember your work. Like, it touched me. Go ahead.
So for me, looking at it now, some of the videos is like I have full-on Alzheimer's disease. I have why did I do that? What's going on? Who choreographed that? So it's really cool. So I'm gonna keep it a little bit like that. But so I have 1 week with the dancers in the studio.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
We're gonna change everything. Give me all the time. No, none of the other. Yeah. None of the other choreographers get any time. I get full day, no? You promise now there's thousands of people watching this.
It's all you.
Exactly.
Or how do you, like, when you're doing a little lie, baby lie? Yeah.
No, we'll work on. I mean, it's nice as a choreographer to see a piece and you immediately like, okay, why are they just standing all the time, the dancers in the back the same way? Would it be nice to kind of get rid of them for a while? I don't know why I put the dancers standing all the time in the back, but then I was like, actually, that's kind of weird. Maybe they should stand all the time in the back.
Yeah.
Why to have them enter and exit?
Yeah.
Just have them there.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of things come to my mind. How I see it now with my eyes today, and see what we can do, and not try not to destroy the piece, what it still has. But I mean, it has great music, so you can't destroy the music.
Yeah, you can't. Like, it really becomes a marriage. What do you think makes like, when you think of your work, and I know it's hard to be, because we're so critical, which is really challenging. When you think of a work that you feel has been a success, what is the combination? What makes it feel successful for you?
Well, there's so many different kind of successes. You know, there's the ballets that's had the most viewers. There's the ballets that have come back the most. There's the ones that I love the most. There's the ones that the dancers like them. It's so many different kind of successes. So it's which I like, because there's no one solution for the success in arts, I think. But yeah, it's great music, and I guess great music in the eyes of the choreographer. First of all, but if I think a little bit globally, I think though classical music that has a certain complexity, I think it will always live a little bit longer when it's connected to choreography than just simple beat music. And I'm not judging anything. I love all kinds of music, but I just find that around, I think.
Yeah.
And things that, you know, emotionally touch me. And when I see a dance performance with music, I think it should take me emotionally, at least partly, into some sort of space that I find exciting. And so.
Agreed. Agreed. What are you working on right now? Are you preparing to come here? And what are some future projects that you have that you want to share with us, or not?
Well, yeah, I'm going to Pittsburgh Ballet.
Okay.
They're doing work of mine. I'm working on this one, Christine, very hard, several hours a day. So what's about your dancers? They don't know what's coming. Who is there? There's only Skylar and
Francesca, Andy.
Oh, Andy's still there.
Yeah, so you still know 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay. But
you know, there's a lot of.
Otherwise, they don't know what's coming. They don't know.
We've warned them that you're coming. Well, Jorma, I really appreciate you coming online. I'm sorry it was tricky to get that like little start. We should have given a little. So I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Thank you so much, really.
Great.
And thank you everyone for joining, and have an awesome afternoon and safe travels to Philadelphia. I'll see you in a few weeks, and definitely come.
Christine, are you in shape? Are you in dance shape?
No, but when I do your movement, I'm like, I can remember. You inspire me though. Maybe I do take class occasionally.
Better start taking class now, and I'm going to put you in shape when I come there.
I need it. I miss dancing. I love dancing.
I miss your dancing. When I look at the videos, it's amazing. Great.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you. That means
I have some videos when I work in you. I'm throwing you around.
Good. Where you felt confident you could lift me.
Yeah, you were. It was easy to lift you.
Oh, thanks. I had to pick those bones up.
You always knew which direction to go. So I was like, Christine, come here. Let's do this one more time.
That made me feel, every time you say that, I was just like my young, like little 20-something, like, I'll do it. I love dancing.
But you have this natural partnering kind of flow. That was your thing also.
Thank you. Yes and no. I mean, I really had to, you know, because I was strong, and not because I had to know where to go. I wanted to be an easy partner for people to work with. So I really made sure that I was on top of my own movement, so that if someone had to lift me, I knew where we were going. I wasn't a sack of potatoes. I was like, I gotta get up.
Anyway, it was wonderful to partner you. Hope we can do it again.
Me too. Thanks so much, Jorma. Thank you, and have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Check BalletX out. Bye.
BalletX.